Alright kids, last night I saw what I thought was going to be my new favorite horror movie, Smile. My expectations were set this way because the marketing surrounding this movie alone was creative. Producers hired people to smile into cameras at baseball games. Plus, the tagline, "Once you see it, it's too late." What? Along with the fact that it's a movie that would make you not trust smiling faces in today's America. What more could you want? Besides this part from the trailer.
I'm just really scared that something bad is going to happen. Rose.
So I'm not going to go into detail about Smile, but if you're wondering what is still my favorite horror movie, well, that scene is from The Ring, which is the movie that we're going to talk about today. On October 18th, 2002, The Ring premiered in theaters, which means it's been my favorite movie for almost exactly 20 years now, as of this recording. Notice that I didn't say that it's the best scary movie or even the scariest of scary movies. It's more creepy and kind of a thriller. And if you haven't seen this movie, do I have to say, spoiler warning for a 20-year-old movie? The whole thing can be summed up with two phrases. Before you die, you see the ring. And 7 days. But before I continue, hey, my last video was about basic white girls, and I wouldn't say this about any woman, let alone a girl, fictional or otherwise. But this bitch is messed up. She's messed up. Anyways, officially, The Ring is described like this. A journalist must investigate a mysterious videotape which seems to cause the death of anyone 1 week to the day after they view it. Here's another. When 4 teenagers all meet with mysterious deaths exactly 1 week after watching just such a tape, investigative reporter Rachel Keller tracks down the video and watches it. Now, the legend is coming true. The clock is ticking and Rachel has just 7 days to unravel the mystery of The Ring. The Ring stars Naomi Watts as Rachel Keller, Martin Henderson as Noah, and DeVay Chase played Samara Morgan, the villain. I mean, even as a child, she won the Moon Person for Best Villain at the MTV Movie Awards. Then there's him, David Dorfman, who plays Rachel's son, Aiden. And where is he, the actor? I read that he's an attorney now, and I need to know where he is because he may be the scariest, creepiest thing of the movie, of any of the movies he was in. One of my favorite things about this movie is that it doesn't go through the difficult task of trying to explain, for example, how Samara can track who watches her movie and where they watch it. Also, how Samara knows their phone number. Plus, in one scene, after Noah watches the tape, Samara calls Rachel's house to tell him he has 7 days. No one answers the phone, so Samara leaves a message. Based on the movie's timeline and logic, how does Samara know how to leave a message that way? Maybe it's easy. I forget. I'm locked into text message mode all the time. Don't call me. I'm a millennial. I don't know. But it bothers me that a character would never get that message and Samara could still hold them accountable for watching that tape. And, well, again, I won't spoil it, but you can understand how making sense of this would weigh the movie down. There are 2 sequels to The Ring. Ring 2 and Rings. The Ring 2 is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Rings was fine, but I didn't need a backstory of why Samara was evil and wants people to die. She lives on Earth and is around humans. We get it. With that said, how does Samara kill you? Does she scare you to death? Like, seeing her is so scary that you die? Based on what's said in this scene, it seems like she shows you what you're afraid of.
Becca, how did she die? Please. I need to know.
And you will. She'll show you.
Samara probably shows you scariness in your mind that frightens you to death. In my case, that would be a large body of water. Even if I were to accept that, how do you end up looking like this? Plus, this girl wasn't in the closet when Samara horrifies her to death. How did she get in there? The other deaths in the movie, how did that person get in the chair? They weren't there when they died. The best thing about this movie, to me, is that you simply cannot beat Samara. I can't beat Samara. She's unbeatable. You can only pacify her. Classic villains, Freddy Krueger, Jason, Michael Myers. Maybe add this bastard to the list one day. People eventually find out how to kill them. However, Samara has no flaws. She's beyond time and the physical. If he couldn't scare her to death, then we don't stand a chance. And even though she's a person, what she does to people could be put in the same vein as non-human villains like the hotel room in 1408, the house in The Grudge, or the Mist, the Blob, whatever enables Jack/Johnny in The Shining. I appreciate the fact that at the beginning of the movie, there's a what happened to that girl, which moves to a plausibility about whether anything is going to happen to Rachel or her family, and questioning how you feel about Samara being a victim herself, then telling Rachel she needs to hurry up, to wondering what this bitch is doing to people and horses. The payoff at the end when someone messes around and finds out what Samara is capable of is everything. And there's a twist at the end. The setting taking place in Seattle and Washington State makes things gloomy. It works. And kind of makes up for the green lens tint that's all over the movie. Behind the scenes when Samara comes out of the well, it was filmed with DeVay walking backwards away from the TV. So when they played it forwards, you get this unsettling gait. Looking back on this movie, this whole idea, the plot and plot devices worked best for the world we lived in pre-social media and just after DVDs became a thing. Furthermore, the meta feel of The Ring is cool. It's got this urban legend thing going for it. While watching The Ring and watching the mysterious video when the characters in the movie do, you wonder if you're going to get a phone call in a few minutes. God bless the people who actually did coincidentally get phone calls in real life after watching that creepy film Samara made. If you haven't seen it, it can be found online. You should know that The Ring is an American adaptation of a Japanese movie called Ringu, which comes from a book called Ring. I feel like The Ring represents a shift in what the horror movie/scary movie genre was and has become. If The Ring is influential, it's because it was influenced by Japan. Yeah, Rosemary's Baby, The Exorcist, and Get Out, some of the other films I've already named are better scary movies and better thrillers. And this moment from Poltergeist, featuring a little girl in a TV, is legendary. But the fact that this little girl wearing an old, dirty, damaged white dress with hair draped in front of her face became an iconic image, an instantly recognizable avatar, its own profile and silhouette, with Samara coming out of the TV being a part of pop culture, kind of tells you what you need to know. In addition to someone whispering 7 days and before you die, you see the ring. Look, demonic nuns, Jeepers Creepers, Saw, Paranormal Activity, shout out to The Haunting at Hill House, Annabelle, the scary doll. None of those movies or shows and characters and villains freaked me out like this actual little white girl. So after seeing Smile, I was reminded of what The Ring was able to pull off without blood and gore, a little violence. It's kind of a slow movie with a lot of backstory/flashbacks in the third act, but
you don't want to hurt anyone.
But I do, and I'm sorry. It won't stop.
Of course, we get new horror movies and scary movies every year at about this time. Every October. And while I would like to know which ones are your favorite, it seems like mine moving forward will be this chick and this dude. But we gonna be all right.